You and Daryl be like this.
That one went far. Pretty close to your space there.
Yeah, I almost got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach, what about the way that you're winning on this current streak impresses you? It's not the wins per se, but the way that you're winning.
I think it's the consistency that we're playing with, for 48 minutes. We talked about that before. It's like, how do we put total games together, without having the lapses that we've had in certain games, and then having to dig our way out, or building a lead and then losing it and then having to figure out a way to adjust from there. I think our guys are setting a tone in the first quarter and just riding that wave, for 48 minutes.
You look at the past 8 games, you're averaging 30 assists, obviously a high number. The rest of the season, I think it's about 24. But is that as simple as sharing the ball more and knocking down shots, or has there been a focus to the offense that you have seen it?
No, I mean, it's an understanding and a trust of what we're trying to do. Like when you're playing with new players and new teammates, you have to understand their strengths and their weaknesses, and then you have to figure out how do you put your teammates in position of strength. That's what we've been talking about since the beginning of the year. Is the only way you find that is you go through the league once and you see how everybody guards, each player, and then you find out, he's comfortable here versus this. How do I put the ball in his hands in that spot? And without playing together, you just don't get that. And obviously, the beginning of the year, injuries and things like that, it was a little choppy as far as gaining that continuity. But I think what you've seen is, a stretch of games where we've had guys together, learning each other, figuring each other out, and seeing what they're all capable of.
Tom, Withers, sorry about your Eagles.
Wow.
I'm sorry about your
Wow. And now you want me to answer your question? That's it for you.
If you'd like to.
No.
It's a hypothetical.
Okay.
If you could potentially add a guy that's played 160 games that can shoot a little bit, good culture guy, what could that mean?
Hypothetically, it could mean a lot. It's just there for support. And again, having people that you can lean on and depend on as a young player who's going to be in situations that maybe they've never been in before. Someone who, again, is about the team and who just wants to fit in and be a part of the group. You can use that experience and you listen to those guys, guys who have been to the mountaintop and, won championships and played in those type of games. But then, you obviously have the ability to put that guy on the floor who's still capable of making shots and guarding his position, which, we know in the playoffs is a premium.
You talked to Kobe last week. He was talking about Kevin's situation and that he'll play again at some point. Do you see that in the near future? Do you want to get him back and get him some minutes just because he has been down for games now?
And I think that's the plan is, we know at some point in time during the season, everybody is going to be an important piece of what we're doing. I think we've seen that from the beginning of the season till now. We still believe like he's capable of helping us in big moments because he has that experience and has been through those pressures. So it's not something that we want to completely go away from and not give him opportunities to play and catch a rhythm and still feel a part of it, because I do think, there's going to be times where we really need him. Because again, he's another one of those guys who's been through those moments and seen, those types of things that we're going to need hopefully down the stretch here.
Mm-hmm. Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, JB.
You got something smart ass to say about the Eagles?
Nope. Not at all.
Right.
Hypothetically, though, if you were to add said playoff,
if they wouldn't have called that holding call, hypothetically, what would have happened?
That was definitely holding.
Oh, here you go.
Did you see the angle?
I'm not talking to you.
Jersey.
No, I can kill those guys. Yeah. But he may have a brother or somebody in the NBA, so I'll be careful.
If you were to add said playoff tested veteran, how do you get minutes for that guy?
It was obvious, would be a early conversation, about the role, and people understand when they're coming here what to expect. I think what we're going through now and in that conversation would be, we're trending in a really good direction. We have to figure the balance between continuing with the group that has started to head that way, and then how you mix in, a piece that could possibly help you down the road. But we will be very ginger with that, because we do not want to disrupt the rhythm of what these guys are finding right now.
So what is it about the 8, 9 guys that you're using right now that you feel like is working so well, and what do you like about these 9?
It's the balance. Again, you look at, from a starter standpoint, the balance that you're seeing in the scoring on that end of the floor. And then the guys who are coming off the bench are doing a really good job of complementing those guys and filling a role. They help your offense continue to tick over. Like, those guys can share and play make. They're not the guys who the ball's in their hands and it always stops. Like, they can help facilitate, the game for us. And then defensively, it's versatile. There's guys who can guard multiple positions, figuring out how to cut off triggers by switching things. Individual guys who can, lessen their matchup. You're not going to hold these guys or shut these guys out, but, trying to get those guys into tougher, difficult shots. We've got guys that can do that as well. So there's a nice balance offensively and defensively with the group.
Defensive holding or not?
Our defense holds.
Kelsey with the Athletic. Kind of going off that with Isaac. When he first got here, he was in that starting lineup his rookie season, and his roles he's gone in and out. But this season, and especially of late, what have you liked just the balance to his game of not only, we know what he does defensively, but finding those offensive opportunities and just kind of being able to blend the two?
He has to be able to be a threat on that end of the floor. As good as he is defensively, teams are too intelligent and too well coached for you to beat them playing 4-on-5. So what we've seen from Isaac is the confidence and the growth on the offensive end of the floor, and not just the spot shots in the corner, right? You see him attacking closeouts, getting to the rim, making plays in the paint for his teammates, where now defensive have to account for him. And, now throw that in the group with, the rest of that starting unit, and teams have to make some really difficult choices. And then we got guys that can make you pay when you do.
You think that helped him in that adjustment into the starting lineup? Because obviously he was coming off the bench earlier in the season, but as he's kind of consistently played at the 3.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of this comes down to is, one, earning the opportunities, and then 2, getting consistent opportunities. A lot of these guys are extremely talented players, and it just comes down to opportunity. And then, are you prepared when your opportunity comes? And that's the thing about Isaac. Like, Isaac works his tail off. There was no way when his moment came, he wasn't going to be prepared for his moment. Against, now you're seeing the fruits of it.
Still on a minutes restriction?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.